Okay, a word of warning. This video is quite long. So if you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. If you're interested in batteries though, and the progress of my batteries and my carbons and stuff like that, then watch the video. It's quite interesting. It charts the progress really. You've seen a lot of it in prior videos, but it charts the progress of that particular battery. That small cross section there on these two pieces of graphite, and it is literally just that bit at the end there, you know, a small square like that. So at the beginning it talks about getting a decent time and all the rest of it, and then it goes on as a progression to far better times, i.e. 10 minutes from that with a 30 milliamp load. So I've said my bit. I'm not going to say too much more about long videos now. In fact, I'll probably never mention it again. You know, you get one crackpot comes along, tries to shoot you down in flames, whatever. I don't care anymore. This is my progress. This is what I do, and that's all there is to it. So, you know, I hope you enjoy it. If you do, give it the old thumbs up if you like. So yeah, that's about it. Watch the video. It's quite long. Okay guys, I just had to share this bit. You saw the last couple of videos. You would have seen this battery and that battery. That's the small one. I haven't even tested that one yet. I'm so excited with this, what's going on. You can see the surface area in that one. There's my thumb, there's my little finger. You know, that's what's going on in there. And a similar thing in this one. Not much, you know, I think 4 square centimetres on this one or something like that. But there it is in its entirety at the moment, and the reason why I'm so excited is that for a long time now I've been, for my own reasons, trying to develop a carbon that was suitable for my cathodes. The anode side, not a problem, never has been. Whether that will change, excuse me, I don't know. But the cathode side of things was the big question. So I've been developing lots and lots of different carbons, and I've gone through hundreds of scenarios, and finally I think I've got there, and there it is. There is my latest carbon I've produced in the kiln. Now that's set on 200 ohms. Now I'm going to be honest, the conductivity at the moment is not that great. But it doesn't matter right this minute, because I know that I can make that conductivity even better. But it's the other qualities that it's got. Now let's just put the probes on that, and we've got 1.4 ohms. I've had better results from it, you know, press a little bit harder, 1.3, 1.2, it's been as low as 1.1, and it's been as low as 1. But it's in that battery. It's not at its best at the moment. You know, there it is. It's been in the coffee grinder. It's quite, it's tough. It's tough stuff, this is. Very, very hard to break. Very hard to break. Okay, so I now need a method of reducing this
granular size, if you like. I've siphoned off a little bit of it using one of these. Okay, I got some small grains. Obviously, I need it a lot finer than I've got in there. But the point is, you've seen this battery run before. That particular one, that piece of carbon or graphite, and that piece of graphite. You've seen it run in a previous video. If you haven't, watch the video. Now, I don't know what the time was on those. I can't remember, to be honest, but it doesn't matter. What matters is the time I get from that. Now, I ran that motor there, which is the one that I'm going to keep for this battery. Now, in the previous video, I think I was charging at a lot higher rate. We're set at 9.9 volts at the minute. And I think under load, initial load with that motor, our voltage dropped to 1.6 volts. Excuse me. Now, I'm using exactly the same electrolyte in this. There is no change, and that's it. I've decided on the electrolyte. It's a very basic electrolyte, and it's the one I'm going to keep all the way through these tests. Now, that's it. Job done. Because that's the last step to improve upon, is the electrolyte. But I've struggled now for a long time to get these to produce this carbon. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put that back there because I like this carbon. I really like this carbon. I know what's in it, I know how I've produced it. That's not a problem. So what I'll do then is I'll charge that battery for 10 seconds at 9.9 volts and I'll give it a run. This can be moved, we don't need that. So there it is. Now, I'm just counting off the top of my head there. I could be 9 seconds, it could be 11, I don't know, I don't really care. But what I'm going to do is start the motor, start the timer. Now you'll notice that, or possibly notice, we're on 33 milliamps and we're on 2 volts. Now the previous batteries with the previous carbons with the same electrolyte started off at 1.6 volts under load with that motor. But there's a bit of a difference there, as you can see. But this, in the past I've talked about, my batteries and the bottom end, the top end, the mid-range and the bottom end, where you get good power at the top, or good power at the middle, the mid-range, and not so much at the bottom end, or lots at the bottom end, or whatever. It's okay. So I'm going to stop this. That was only 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Okay, that's off. 9.9. You can see the current there, 2.5 amps. Now I think that was 10 seconds. Not entirely sure. I'm counting off the top of my head. So we'll start that, and we'll start that. So at 1 volt there, we're on 2 minutes. So again, that's better than anything else I've done so far with this battery. This stuff is working, and it's working well, and it's working how I want it to work. It's doing what I want it to do, and as you can see, that run there was 4 minutes 13. Do is reset it on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn that on, turn that on. Right, let's have another little look at it. Okay, so 4 minutes 33 on that one. There's a bit of work to do yet, we know that, but I just wanted to share what's going on. Okay, as you can see, I've now got the dummy load set up for the data logger, or it will be in a second. There's the software. I'm just going to pump a couple of seconds of charge into that battery, and then I'm going to put the data logging lead on there. And as you can see, top right hand corner in blue, 2.5 volts, and as you can see there, 2.5 volts. Now they won't agree in a second once I fire this up, because I still haven't calibrated this thing yet. But what I'm going to do, we're on 30 milliamp load there, which should be the same as the motors. So I'm going to press start. Let's see where we go. At the moment, that's not a bad curve. Nice current curve on the bottom there in red. Now the voltage reads 1.92, 1.94 there, but it didn't stay that way for long. We're agreeing at 1.8 at the moment, so that's good. And 1.7, so we're still agreeing at the minute. I can't believe that. Both saying 1.6 volts now. I think that's quite a good curve. I don't think I'm unhappy with that. For the load that's on that really small battery there. Seems to have been a bit of a recovery there on the voltage. Or on the battery, I should say. We're almost on 2 minutes. Well, I can't believe that that's saying 0.9 and that was saying 0.9 at the same time. We're on 0.82 at the top and 0.854 at the bottom, so okay. Seems to be a dip on the mid-range there. There's as I call it. Ah, dear. Okay. So the runtime is 3 minutes at the moment. And yeah, that's about it. Stop that there. Yeah. So it didn't run on this for as long as it did on the motor, but I don't know where the difference is at the moment, to be honest. Don't know why there's a difference, but I mean, I hadn't charged that battery or anything beforehand. I'd left it and I was playing around with that small one there, but at the minute doesn't look like a bad curve. Bit of a dip, as I said, in the mid-range there. Okay, one of the things I'm hoping to show in this video is that same battery that you saw before with this particular carbon, and there it is. I've spoke about it. Okay, doing something more remarkable. And when I say doing something more remarkable, I mean it's on charge now. We're at 4.7 volts, as you can see, running that same motor, which we know, how much current it draws. But actually doing that. Okay, so I'm going to reset that, put it there. I'm going to turn the charger off. I'm going to put that motor on and start that timer. Let's see how it does. Okay, there it is. Same battery, same surface area as previously, with a bit of a difference. Well, I wanted to show that piece of carbon, but I can't find it. Find another piece. There it is. Let's turn that off. There's the carbon. And to be honest, there it is, on its way to becoming that solid piece of carbon. So what did I do then? Well, all I did basically was charged it for a little bit longer at 4.7 volts, and you've seen the results. Now that's not fantastic at the moment, but I don't care about that. I know how to get that better. I know nothing about its self-discharge rate at the moment, not a clue. But whatever it is, I know I can better it. So I just wanted to show that, because I just think it's good. You know, to get 10 minutes out of that now is it's kind of, you know, reaching a milestone for me. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Catch you soon. Right then, one thing that I do like to do from time to time is actually put my money where my mouth is, because I've said that that carbon that I produced, I don't know why I turned that off then. I turned it off, it was already on. I said that I could make that conduct a lot better than it was. So I've done 2 runs in the kiln. That was the first run, that's the second run. Now one of those is more conductive than the other. Now essentially, you know, they're both the same, aren't they? But they're not. I'm hoping I'm going to pick on the right one. This one was always around an ohm or so, like that. It hovers around 1.2, 1.1, but you can get an ohm out of it. You've just seen it. So that was that. There was a piece of the original that's slightly more silvery, as you can see, than the others, but that doesn't matter. Depends on where you look, I suppose. So I get a piece of that. Okay. Even 0.9 there, that original piece. So if I can just get the probes on both sides of this, like that. You know, that was the general resistance, 1.1, 1.2 ohms. So this is the other one. Now I fired these both together, and I did this as a proper test to see if this one was going to be better. So here goes, and there you have it. 0.7, 0.6. You can see how far apart the probes are. 0.8, 0.9. So that battery that you saw last, which had got that carbon on it, and you saw did 10 minutes on that motor on the run, was with that carbon or that one. But this new stuff now, Well, I need to try it, I guess. It's no good talking about it, is it? Gotta try it. Gotta make it up into a piece of active area and give it a go. But I just wanted to prove that when I said I could make that more conductive, I have. Simple as that, really. Over and out. Now, this really is where I do need to calibrate this, because I'm showing 1.9 volts. Well, we've got 1.648 there, and I'm showing 1.88 volts there. So this really does need calibrating, and I do know why. I haven't bothered yet, and it's because I want to download all the latest firmware for this this software. Well, for this data logger, so that's what I want to do. Now what I've done is I've charged the battery again. Obviously we've got a 30 milliamp load there, and I'm showing 1.5, well, we've got 1.3 there, 1.5 there. So I really do need to get on top of this, and we got a pretty strange curve there going on. So this is the same battery, the one you saw run a 30 milliamp load, an inductive motor load, and I'm getting completely different sort of results from this thing. Wow. Don't know what's going on there. But yeah, I mean, at the moment I'm still just having to play with this data logging software. Not much more I can say, really. But that curve really is up and down on this one, isn't it? You know. But still, be interesting to see what it comes up with, because I'm still on 1 volt on my meter there, and this thing is showing 0.6 of a volt there. Look, current curve is still nice. Voltage curve is all over the place. And to be honest, my 10.5 minutes is looking completely out of the window on this, but I think it's got a lot to do with the calibration now, definitely. So I'll download the firmware first and calibrate this software. That it really is up and down, isn't it? You know. I don't know whether that's because it's sort of having a word with itself and saying, hold on a minute, what is the actual voltage of this battery? I think that's probably got a bit to do with it. I mean, I've still got 0.83 on my meter, and I've got 0.3 there, so you know, I'm losing out big style now on this data logging software, definitely. I mean, we're on sort of 4 minutes there, you know, down to 0.2, there you go. You see, it's just leapt up from 0.2 to 0.315. So, yeah, it really is all over the place. I'll just prove a point. 0.72 on my meter, which I know is correct, and we've got 0.2 on this data logging software, so I really do need to calibrate this now. And you know, we've only got well, not even 5 minutes yet, and it's just jumped up again down there, look. So it's kind of confusing itself, I think, a little bit. So yeah, I'll get to it. I'll download new firmware and see where we go. See, we've got 0.222 there, and I've still got, you know, almost 0.6 of a volt on the meter. So I really do need to sort this out, you know. But what I'll do, I'll just let this run, even though we know the software's kind of confusing itself. I mean, we're down there now to, I've got half a volt on my meter, and we're down to, well, next to nothing there, look, you know. But do you know what, I'm gonna let this run and see what happens. You can see, oh, this machine, you can see the voltage there, 0.006, and I've still got 0.4 of a volt there in reality. So I mean, we're actually on well, we're over 6 minutes anyway on that. So and the current curve has only just decided to change there, look, at the end. So and now we're up to 0.1 of a volt, look. That is just crazy. Interesting. 0.162. It's all over the place. I think it's finally realised my battery's still got some voltage. Now it's gone down again, look. It's almost comical, this. But there you go. I mean, it's coming up to 7 minutes. Okay, so what's going on at the moment is I've just taken this piece of carbon off of this cathode, and I've put another piece of carbon on that cathode, and I'm literally just charging it up, basically. It's not tried, not tested, not anything. What you see there is the voltage on the cell. It's still on charge. I'm charging at 3.2 volts, and we've got 230 milliamps there of current that's drawing. The battery's drawing. Or 220 now. It's going down. Look. What I'm going to do is just give it a preliminary run and see if it's any good. It's another carbon. And I'll tell you exactly what it is. First charge, obviously. So I'm going to run the motor. Same, you know. What the? Oh, I was going to say, I forgot to turn the charger off. Stop that. Reset that. Okay. Shall we start again? Okay. Turn the charger off. There's the voltage. Start the timer. And it started at a sensible voltage. I like that. That's okay. That's good. So 33 milliamps at 2 volts. Now this is the same electrolyte that I'm using all the way through these experiments now. It's exactly the same. And it's actually not. Can you see that voltage? Okay, so we're still at 1.8 volts. That's amazing. We're at 1 minute 30. So you can, we know the surface area, that's it. So small piece like that. We're at, well, just approaching 2 minutes there now, and we've still got, wow, 1.7 volts. I'm going to be honest now, I nearly threw that carbon in the bin because I only did a small quantity of material, and when it came out as carbon it was such a small amount I nearly threw it away, but I didn't. I thought, no, let's persevere, get it in a beaker, mix it up and have a go. And wow. Wow. First charge, 3.2 volts, couple of minutes. This is incredible. I know I do use that word a bit, but this is incredible. To be on 4 minutes and still have 1.26 volts on its first charge, that is incredible. This is unbelievable, folks. 5 minutes, still got a volt left. First charge for this new material. And like I say, I only charged it for a couple of minutes. This is unreal. Six minutes 24 seconds. I cannot believe this. I'm almost at the stage, I must say, that I don't want to tell you what this is. I don't want to say what it is. But it is that, trust me. And that one is the one I cut up. And I just took a few slices off the top there and carbonised them, and that's it. There it is, on the cathode. So I wonder if you can guess what I'm going to do some carbonisation with tonight. I think we're about to come to an end there, but that is just incredible. Okay, and we'll all stop at almost 9 minutes. Wow. A green apple, folks, that's what it is. Just an apple. And the carbon's on there. So the conductivity was admittedly I rushed it as well in the kiln. The conductivity was about 2.2 ohms or something like that. That was just very quickly testing it with the probes off the meter. Wasn't even a pressure plate test or anything like that. So onwards and upwards, I'm going to charge this again and see what it does. Okay, this is a fresh run, and we're on 6 minutes and 35 seconds. Now the only problem is this is not the same material. This is a humble onion, as in the onion itself, not anything that grows above ground that we could call leaves or anything like that. This is same conditions, same anode material, same electrolyte, same everything, except this carbon, which is now on 7 minutes and 20 seconds, is an onion. And there we go, it's just stopped. Almost 7.5 minutes. But that was its first charge at 3.3 volts. I don't know why it's gone up 0.1, but it has. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to charge that again now, and we'll see what goes on. Now, at the moment, there's not much of a recovery there. I don't care about that. That doesn't matter right at this moment in time. For a number of reasons, and I'm not going to go into those now. But I'm going to put that back on charge. And what I'm going to do is reset that and come back shortly. Okay, onion run number 3. Let's see what goes on. I'll get the timer up. That's 0, as you can see. Turn off the charger and start the timer. Because there are some properties here which I don't fully understand yet. I'm going to have a think about this and you know, look at this apple situation definitely. Because before, of course, I tried the onion. Okay, so that's just stopped, and we're on 9 minutes, so that's pretty good. I'm well pleased with that. Before, what I did was I did some onion, but I tried this, the leaf part, which I call a leaf. I could be wrong, but I'm calling it a leaf. That's what I tried. It was okay, but not brilliant. Should I have tried that? The onion part of it itself? Maybe I'll try that, I don't know. But I'll just finish up by saying, as a carbon, those two are superb. Absolutely superb. And on that note, now it's not very often I'll come back in on a video like this, but with this particular video, did you learn something from that? Because
I know I did, which was that I made this carbon on the original battery that you saw, the original time, and it's actually on test now. It's actually running now on test, version 3 of my own carbon, and to be honest, we're on 1.18 volts, and we've got 6 minutes, almost 6.5 minutes there. So that's the carbon that I made. In the kiln, and I've got version 1, version 2 and version 3, and version 3 is running in that battery now. It's actually on test, and we're almost on 7 minutes now, and we've still got 1.11 volts. So that's the carbon that I produced in the kiln, and it will all become apparent soon, once I've hopefully perfected it, if I can perfect it, that is. You know, there's no saying that I will perfect it, but if I do, I do, and then I'll tell you guys what it is. But, well, actually, I've got here version 3, version 2 and version 1. Now, I just want you to listen to this. It's a sound test. Version 1 sounds very plasticky, doesn't it? Version 2 sounds very plasticky. Version 3, can you hear that ring to it? Sounds almost like a ceramic or a brick, doesn't it? Well, when I explain what's going on with that carbon, you'll understand why. But why have I come back in on this video like this? You then saw, after my carbon, an apple or carbon from apple working on that battery, and do you know what? It almost did as well as my carbon. And then you saw an onion, and that almost did as well as my carbon, the one I produced. It's not going to do as well as this one, by the way, version 3. But well, an apple grows on a tree, onion grows in the ground. They're two completely different animals, but I thought, okay, what have they got in common? Apples and onions. Apart from they're both sort of, you know, round-ish shape. Sugar, that's what they've got in common. Now, apple happens to be my personal favourite fruit. Onion happens to be my all-time favourite food stuff. I could eat onion in any form, raw onion, fried onion, baked onion. I just love onion. It happens to be my favourite, and that's it. You know, I could literally eat just a whole dish full of onion. I really could, and to be honest, I do. But what have they got in common? Sugar. Now, I have said in a previous video that one of the best carbons that I produced was sugar with activated carbon. Now, that wasn't to say that I just got some activated carbon and I got some sugar carbon and I mixed the two together, because it didn't happen like that. I did what I did in the kiln, and it'll all become apparent soon when I do my carbons video. I know I keep mentioning it and all the rest of it, but you know, all of this stuff takes time. I put my heart and soul into this area, I really do, with all sorts of stuff, so I can share it with you guys. But activated carbon and sugar was one of the best carbons that I produced, to be honest. Now, they reckon that the surface area of sugar carbon is way more than activated carbon. In reality, well, you know, I I haven't found that myself, to be honest, but then perhaps that's because I've not got the my sugar granules or carbon granules down to a fine powder as I have with activated charcoal, so, or activated carbon, the coconut variety. So 1 second. .5 minutes, so we're looking good on that version 3. So yeah, these carbons, one of the other carbons that I produced, the best carbons that I produced was, and I mentioned this in a previous video also, was when I mixed some, or put some activated charcoal, or activated carbon shall we say, in with a reaction. And the reaction was when I was making some graphene oxide from graphene, one of the tour methods that Robert Murray Smith showed us, and that was one of the best carbons that I found as well. Since then I've produced this other carbon, and this seems to be, you know, good as well. So I've just got to keep watching this. 12.5 minutes. I know we're coming, well, it's just stopped. It's just stopped now. So there you go, 12 minutes 33. So, you know, that's this stuff on test. And again, you know, that's the surface area. Okay, 12.5 minutes, 30 milliamp load. Okay, so carbon number 3, brilliant. It's looking good. I'm going to try and improve on that now, but I'll tell you more about that when I've done it, and if I succeed, you'll know what it is. But apple and onion, who would have thought that we'd get a run on that battery of almost 10 minutes? It's incredible, you know. There was nothing else with it. There was nothing added to it, no graphene, nothing like that. That was just raw sugar carbon. Now what I'm going to do, to be honest, is I'm going to do a bit of research now where apples are concerned, obviously, and onions are concerned. You know, I've mentioned the sugar thing. I personally, because I said earlier on that they were, you know, apple's my favourite fruit and onion is my favourite food stuff. I know that they are very sugary. They're full of sugar, and there's no two ways about that. So, is there something else? I don't know, but I intend to find out. Now, whether I can better the apple carbon and the sugar the onion carbon, I don't know. That, you know, you saw it as I tested it, and that's all there is to it. You know, I fired it in the kiln, very low resistance. In fact, if I can find, there we go. There's one, onion, 0.8 of an ohm. So that was the resistance of the onion. The apple, I don't know where it is. It's around somewhere. It's somewhere. But the resistance on that was quite low as well. So I don't know what more to say. I'm just quite excited about this prospect of these two carbons, these biomass carbons. This is why I've come in like this, back in on the video, and you know, I'm talking for a long time again, aren't I? So I'll shut up now, and I'll go away, and I'll do some research as best I can, and whatever I find out, I'll let you know. That's it.